So yes, I shot enough beer-related footage for me to warrant splitting it off into its own video, so here are my thoughts on Halida. This beer is bad. It's like West End. It just tastes terrible. Don't ever buy this beer if you see it anywhere. Just walk the other way. 333. At the risk of making these videos a bit too obsessed with beer, 333 isn't much better. And Lion Breweries. This place is great. I was attracted by the big sign with Oktoberfest, but I was quite impressed by the sight of their kettles. Nice and shiny. So yes, I'm in Lion Brewery and Restaurant. Brewery. So I started with a glass of their blonde, and with my BJCP hat on, I'd go, not quite to style, but it's incredibly tasty, and I'm willing to overlook the whole non-compliance with, BJCP standards, because it's just really tasty. It's got strong notes of that noble German hop quality, which I love. Excuse me. And it's just really refreshing and tasty, but it's also got a decent malt backbone, which kind of is very much supported by the hops, and the malt really shines here, and it's very, very, very tasty. So I'm assuming I'm here at a quiet time of the day. I don't know what time it is, but yes. Swivel chairs. So yes, a few more tasting notes. I'm going through this really quickly, so I'm not really giving it much of a chance to warm up, but I'm getting a bit of a hint of diacetyl, that kind of buttery, sort of buttered popcorn sort of flavour. It was a bit disappointing. Kind of apart from that floor, it's really good. But yeah, it's kind of a bit disappointing that this quite noticeable flaw, and I'll just make a point, I'm not very good at detecting diacetyl. It's a bit disappointing this flaw is in this beer, because otherwise it's really good. When it comes to pouring beers, they seem to have a bit of an issue with excessive head production, which, okay, I'll include it. I never complain about too much head, but it seems to be a bit of an issue here. So if it were me, and I'm just playing backseat kegging setup person, I'd probably increase the ID of their lines, and maybe even reduce the length a little bit, but increasing the ID of their beer line would reduce friction between the beer and the line as it travels from the keg to the taps, reducing the amount of CO2 that comes out of solution, and thus reducing head. But hey, that's just me. Okay, so this is Lion Brewery's Dark. I was kind of hoping for something like a Bock or a Doppelbock, seeing how this brewery is clearly German themed, but it kind of sits in a realm I'm not really sure exactly what style it really fit into. overall, I'm a little disappointed with this. The blonde rum, despite some small flaws, is quite good. But my biggest problem with this, and I use this analogy a lot when describing beers, but I describe the flavour as being like a ball. That there's this sort of initial flavour that hits your palate, and then there's this empty period where there's nothing really positive to really talk about, and then roast flavours come in at the end. So really my biggest problem with this is that firstly it's far too unattenuated. The attenuation is nowhere near what it should be, so there's a lot of complex sugars, a lot of these sort of admittedly hard to ferment out saccharides, which kind of make it both sweet and roasty because of the roast barley and black paint they obviously use in this beer. So sort of describing the flavour, now that I've finally got around to that, it's got that kind of dusty, dry, roasted flavour that you associate with a dry stout, but it also has these sort of sweet, toffee-like caramel flavours that you sort of associate with like a porter, or even something like your American browns. So there's this uncomfortable juxtaposition of that kind of dry stout flavour and a sort of sweet portery brown ale flavour, which really doesn't work in my opinion. I really don't think this beer just sits very well, and I suppose that's the reason why it can't fit into a BJCP category. As a brewer, I love shiny things. Hot dog. Breweries are just full of shiny bling. Sorry for the poor zoom, but this camera is a little unwieldy. Yes, I'm probably not allowed to be here, so I'm getting as much footage as I can.